Good morning and welcome to the Daily Light Devotion. I hope all of you have had a wonderful Monday and looking forward to today. That is the 26th of August. Uh, at today's devotion, we're going to look at from Acts chapter 19, verses 35 to 41. And the title is When God Brings Peace Through Providence. Yesterday, we looked at how the situation when the gospel was preached in Ephesus, we've been looking over for last couple of 3, 4 days. What happened? There was chaos, and basically, nearly the whole town came and entered the theater in Ephesus, and there was kind of a huge riot. So today we're going to look at take it further. It says after hours of confusion and shouting in the Ephesus theater, uh, there was finally a little bit of peace, not by Paul's words, but through God's providence. The town clerk, an unexpected voice of reason, silenced the mob and dismissed the assembly, right? This reminds us that God is able to bring order out of chaos and peace in the midst of turmoil. Now, verse 35 says, and when the city clerk heard, had quietened the crowd, he said, Men of Ephesus, what man is there who does not know the city of Ephesus is temple guardian of the great goddess Diana? Now, city clerk was a kind of a leader. He was elected leader, civic leader, right? He was not a Christian, right? He was not a follower of Jesus Christ, but was one of, but was the one God used to calm the mob. So God can raise peacemakers from surprising places, right? He uses even unbelievers to accomplish his purpose. Verse 36 says, Therefore, since these things cannot be denied, you ought to be quiet and do nothing rashly. The clerk was appealed to a reason, urging restraint instead of violence, right? God's truth is not advanced by rage, but by reason and love. His gospel is best defended through wisdom, not chaos, right? Verse 37 says, For you have brought these men here who are neither robbers of temples nor blasphemers of your God. Now, even the city clerk admitted that Paul's companions had done nothing wrong, right? Their integrity is protected from themselves. So, he actually declared them blameless, like, they had no charges against them. So he recognized that, he did not go against the rules or the laws of that city, right? And he proclaimed that to them. And verses 38 and 39 said, Therefore, if Demetrius and his fellow craftsmen have a case against anyone, the courts are open. But if you have any other inquiry to make, it shall be determined in the lawful assembly. Now the clock redirected grievances to proper channel instead of mob violence. God is a God of order, right? He often works through lawful structures to restrain evil too. And verses 40 and 41 says, For we are in danger of being called in question of today's uproar. And when he had said that, these things he dismissed the assembly. So now, when human leaders could not control, God ended up through providence, right? The riot dissolved without a harm to Paul and his companion. So God is sovereign. Uh, he doesn't control everything, but God will use situations to protect his people, from different channels. And that's what we see here. But we have to be open and seeking God, and God will move because God is someone who cares about each one of us more than we can think. Now, what are some of the life applications? We need to trust God for his providence. He can bring peace through unexpected people, right? We need to choose reason and wisdom over rash uh, reactions or emotional reactions, right? Live with integrity so that the accusation against us finds no ground. Here, Paul and his team were blameless, right? In sight of God, of course, but also in sight of the law of the city. We need to respect law and order rather than giving into mob mentality, again, by responding and acting the same way as they do, right? And rest in God's sovereignty, right? He can quiet storms, silence crowds He can do anything when we seek him, like Paul and his team were seeking. I'm sure they were praying and saying, God, you take authority over these situations. You are the ruler of the whole universe, right? You take control of the situation. So I want to encourage you. The uproar in Ephesians reminds us the gospel may provoke loud opposition, but God always has the final word. When mobs shout, when confusion spread, and when threats seem overwhelming, our God is able to bring peace. He guards his people, uses unexpected voices, and proves that his kingdom cannot be shaken. Right? So we need to know that. We need to know God is sovereign and God can change any situation if we pray and seek Him and allow Him to do that, right? Because He has given us authority. When I say allow, I don't mean it in that God cannot do it, but He definitely, wants the best for every situation, especially when we are preaching the gospel and there is huge opposition like this. I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.